didn't reinvent its clamshell style foldable, but the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 looks ready to hold on to its value foldable crown. Samsung's mid-year Unpacked event delivered everything we expected, with some new Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, a new duo of smart watches across the Galaxy Watch 5 and Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and a pair of foldables in the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Flip 4. The new foldable keeps the signature clamshell design and comes with an improved display, dual cameras, and a flagship chipset. The screen's diagonal is 6.7 inch, which is the same as the predecessor, but that's where the similarities end. The new OLED panel has a better hinge that bends in a pear shape to close completely when folded. It supports HDR10 Plus and comes with 144Hz refresh rate. Also, Motorola dropped the weird notch with the panel tucking underneath and introduced a punch hole design for the 32-megapixel front-facing camera. Now, we don't want to call it a selfie shooter, as selfies will likely be taken with the dual camera on the back, in combination with the external 2.7-inch OLED screen that apparently remains unchanged. The main camera has a 50-megapixel sensor and OIS identical to what is used on the Edge 30 Pro and S30 Pro. The secondary camera is a 13-megapixel ultra-wide-angle shooter with 121 degrees field of view. The previous two Moto Razr phones had Snapdragon 7 series chipsets, but finally the Moto Razr 2022 comes with a flagship Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Other specs include support for RAW shooting, MyUI 4.0 interface that redesigned some apps to work on the outer screen as well, dual speakers with Dolby Atmos support, and proper DC dimming. Samsung has definitely expanded the cover display functionality too, with theme matching when setting Galaxy themes on the main display and a host of new and improved widgets like a Smart Things, Smart Home Control Panel, Samsung Wallet Access, expanded quick replies, plus more general quick settings. Flex mode makes a return to, letting you position the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4's sturdy feeling hinge at multiple angles through its full range of motion in order to gain access to a number of split screen experiences. The company has built on existing offerings like YouTube and Google Duo, with apps like Meta Messaging coming out of testing to receive dedicated flex mode support, while features like multi-window have been better optimized for flex mode with a simple gesture from the bottom of the screen to get going. Beyond these additions and updates, which capitalize on the Flip 4's unique hardware configuration, you can expect a more familiar One UI software experience underpinned by Android 12. Samsung's Galaxy Store lives alongside the Google Play Store. Samsung Wallet exists in conjunction with Google Pay, and although the same native Android 12 features persist, they play second fiddle to Samsung's specific implementation when it comes to UI layout and customization. In addition to a weak chip, another chink in the Motorola Razr's armor has been the camera output. Motorola has remained loyal to a single rear camera formula for all its foldable phones so far, and even though the 48 megapixel on the Razr 5G delivered solid results, it was just not enough for the original asking price of nearly $1,400, both in terms of raw quality and lens versatility. Thankfully, Motorola is making positive strides in the department as well. The Razr 2022 has a 50 megapixel primary camera with OIS. It supports 4:1 pixel binding, so you can expect to get 12.5 megapixel images. The main camera is accompanied by a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera with a 121-degree field of view and support for macro shooting. On the front, you get a 32 megapixel selfie sensor. The overall camera setup might not be as powerful as the main snapper, but if phones like iPhone 13, Galaxy S22 and Pixel 6 are anything to go by, those are enough pixels to deliver some impressive photos. Although the Flip 4 focuses on compact portability to the Z Fold 4's productivity, it doesn't skimp on performance, with Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 silicon running to the show. That's the same chipset you will find in the latest Android flagships, including Asus' newest Zenfone 9 and its gaming bohemia, the ROG Phone 6. Although in this instance, the Snapdragon comes twinned with a more modest 8GB of RAM, whereas the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 features 12GB. You won't find any of Samsung's own Exynos chips in this latest crop of foldables, meaning performance should be more consistent. Wherever you pick one up, some of Samsung's flagships, namely in the Samsung Galaxy S series, run on either Snapdragon or Exynos chips depending on where in the world you find them, and as a result, aspects like performance and camera behavior can vary pretty distinctly between the two versions, usually in the Snapdragon's favor. As for battery life, while charging remains the same as on the Flip 3, support for up to 25 watt when wired and wireless charging at up to 15 watt. As a direct result of user feedback, the Flip 4 bumps the battery capacity of its predecessor up from 3300 mAh to 3700 mAh, which should allow it to more confidently make it through a day. The Moto Razr 2022 is already available for pre-order on the company's Chinese website in only one color, black. Prices are 6,000 Chinese yuan and it makes $890 for an 8GB and 128GB storage variant. We don't if and when Motorola will bring it overseas. For now, we have heard practically nothing on the matter. It is over. Motorola finally launched the Moto Razr 2022 and the phone is everything we expected it to be. The new foldable keeps the signature clamshell design and comes with an improved display, dual cameras and a flagship chipset.